Xiang Ling is a top-tier pyro carry who received a lot of buff since the debut of Genshin Impact. I made this video so that everyone can start using Xiang Ling. Everyone who reaches Adventure rank 40 should have Xiang Ling already, as you only need to clear Abyss floor 3 in order to obtain her. As we all know, in patch 2.0, all players will be able to farm the new emblem artifact set created exclusively for Xiang Ling and Raiden Shogun. Apart of that, each of us will receive a free R5 polearm customized for Xiang Ling and Raiden Shogun in patch 2.1. Xiang Ling has a total of 9 normal attack animations, which are very quick. The summoning of Goba is Xiang Ling Elemental skill. Goba is a low IQ pet that will attack a close enemy for 4 times before it expired. After you unlock the passive talent, Goba will drop a small chili after he expired, which will grant the character that pick it up an extra 10% attack bonus. Goba cannot move, but you can use your character to push it around, and you can even use Jin Elemental skill to pull Goba in order for him to attack enemy in the air. Goba can also be used to cancel Xiang Ling attack animation. Xiang Ling Elemental burst is Pyronado. After 3 swings, it will release a Pyronado that rotates around Xiang Ling. Pyronado will last for 10 seconds, but after you unlock the 4th constellation, it will last for 14 seconds. It takes 20 seconds to cool down and consume 80 energy. This is the ability that makes Xiang Ling broken. As I said before, there are 3 swings before the Pyronado forms. The first swing will apply Pyro element onto enemy. The third swing will produce the Pyronado rings. In order to deal the maximum amount of damage to enemy, I recommend you to use Pyronado only if you are standing close to your enemy. Pyronado is rotated around your character in a clockwise direction. So, in order to maximize your damage output, we need to move in an anti-clockwise direction around your enemy. Pyronado will also do twice the damage to a bigger enemy, and Pyronado will also continue to deal damage even after Xiang Ling is fallen. Finally, we need to know that the 6th constellation cannot buff Xiang Ling Pyronado. If you are utilizing 4-set Crimson Witch, make sure you use Goba first, then Pyronado. Goba combined with the 1st constellation can weaken enemy pyro resistance and enhance pyro damage. If you do not use Crimson Witch 4 set, use Pyronado first, then use Goba to receive the Constellation 6 bonus. Pyronado has no internal cooldown, and this allows Xiang Ling to vaporize on every hit when she is paired with Xingqiu, making the damage output to be higher than other pyro DPS characters such as Diluc. Let me start by explaining what is snapshotting. For example, Xiang Ling Pyronado will be buffed for its entire duration when cast inside Bennett Fantastic Voyage field. Even if one walk out of the field expires, the damage will lock inside Xiang Ling Elemental Burst even Bennett buff is expired. Bennett has only 12-second attack buff, but you can use her Pyronado to snapshot Bennett buff to longer than 12 seconds up to 36 seconds, depend on when you use her Pyronado. Kazuha only has 8-second elementary damage bonus, but Xiang Ling can snapshot it. Rosaria has a crit rate buff for 10 seconds. Xiang Ling can snapshot the crit rate buff for entire Pyronado duration. Sucrose has 8 seconds elementary buff. Xiang Ling can snapshot the elementary mastery buff for entire Pyronado duration. Staff of Homa. This is the most broken polearm in the entire game, but it requires a character to be under half health. But Xiang Ling can snapshot the buff from Staff of Homa to an entire Pyronado duration. However, Bennett is not recommended when using snapshot with Staff of Homa because Bennett will heal faster than Xiang Ling burst animation. Below are all the buffs that can be used to be snapshot by Xiang Ling. Xiang Ling is the buff abuser. If you take a good look at Xiang Ling character design, she has the best element and she can take advantage and snapshot all the buff mechanics in this game. Both of Xiang Ling's skill and burst can be snapshotted. Xiang Ling has a good AoE, good damage, can snapshot attack bonus, can snapshot and use properly the elementary mastery, no internal cooldown for Pyronado, can do melt and vaporize direction every time the Pyronado land on enemy, and can switch to other character after using her burst. For other characters like Beidou, she has good AoE, good damage, can snapshot, but cannot snapshot the elementary mastery, and electric damage isn't as strong as melt damage. Fischl has good damage, can snapshot, but the problem is same as Beidou. Electric damage doesn't do as much as melt damage. Glee has good damage, good AoE, can snapshot, can do high elementary damage, but Glee turns into a selfish DPS once she uses her burst. Kaya has good damage, can snapshot, can do high elementary damage, can switch character after he uses his burst, but unfortunately, Kaya has less AoE damage and has internal cooldown in terms of applying cryo to the enemy. And lastly, Xingqiu doesn't even snapshot. Xiang Ling, like every character, has weaknesses. Her elementary burst has an energy cost of 80. This is one of the ways MiHoYo try to make sure that Xiang Ling is not super overpowered. This is a high damage burst that can be used only once in a while, lowering the damage per second. However, I'm convinced that they overlook another character, Bennett. As we all know, Bennett is a broken character. Bennett E has a cooldown of 4 seconds. This low cooldown skill can be used to funnel energy into Xiang Ling. Furthermore, using Bennett E inside Fantastic Voyage field will lower the cooldown to 2 seconds. This solves the problem in terms of energy recharge for Xiang Ling. Secondly, she has an Ascension stat for Elementary Mastery. This will make her final build will have a low attack stat. However, we can use Bennett Burst, Pyro Resonant, and Goba Chili to solve this problem. Chinese refer to them as national team not because all of them are from Liyue, but all of the characters utilized in this team are pretty cheap and easy to build. Following that, we'll discuss the national team for Xiang Ling, why is it so good and its weaknesses. The strength for national team comes from the constellation. Xiang Ling first constellation will reduce the pyro defense of enemy. Chongyun talent will reduce the cryo defense of enemy. Chongyun second constellation will reduce the cooldown, and Xingqiu second constellation will reduce the hydro resistance of enemy. Xiang Ling national team also has weaknesses. For example, it requires elementary bursts from all the characters regularly. However, Noblesse Oblige can be obtained through the artifact reroll system added in patch 2.0, and in patch 2.1, if you manage to pull Radish Shogun, you can use her to replace Chongyun. I repeat, national team require elementary bursts from all the characters regularly, and guess what Raiden Shogun can provide? She can be used to buff all the character elementary bursts by using her E, so this is an indirect buff to the entire national team. Secondly, they have bad AoE damage and have bad at grouping enemy as compared to Morgana or even Xiao team. I recommend to upgrade Xiang Ling burst first, followed by her E, and lastly upgrade her normal attack. However, if you want to play physical Xiang Ling, which I do not recommend because this is not the optimum build, you can upgrade her normal attack first, followed by Pyronado, and lastly her E. For artifact set, I recommend the newly added 4-set emblem and the 4-set Crimson Witch. However, if you do not have 4-set emblem or 4-set Crimson Witch, I would recommend you to build Xiang Ling as shown with the artifact below. However, the damage will be slightly lower. For artifact stat, I recommend you to get 70 crit rate and 140 crit damage. For player using the catch, I recommend you to get 50% crit rate and use artifact with higher crit damage as you can get additional 12% crit rate from the new pole arm. In terms of energy recharge, I recommend 150 energy recharge if you have high refinement Favonius and 160 to 180 energy recharge if you are using other weapons. However, if you are using the catch together with emblem set, you already gain 166 energy recharge. You only need a little bit more of energy recharge. You can use a sand with a attack main stat. For weapons, 5-star weapon is better than 4-star weapon. You can use whatever you like, but weapon with high energy recharge is preferable like Skyward Spine or even Engulfing Lightning. For 4-star weapons, I highly recommend using the catch and high refinement Favonius. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, share and subscribe to this channel. This video take me a lot of time and I hope you will appreciate it. I will make a new video soon, so stay tuned for that. Bye.